Your questions about business, career, personal development, and achieving the American dream are more than welcome. Email them to info@makingitnow.com. Now back to more Making It with Tommy and Todd.
We're back. OMG Fact of the Week. Where'd I put my paper? There it is. OMG Fact of the Week. Women apologize on average 5.2 times a day. Men 3.6 times a day.
Todd, as usual,
that 0.2 needs credit.
It does. We try to do our part, but women. I've done my research.
Sorry, guys,
really?
I beat you again.
According to a 2010 study of the Journal of Psychological Science, women have a lower threshold for what constitutes offensive behavior. You need to remember that, Todd. So they're more likely to see a need for an apology in everyday situations. So therefore, women apologize more.
It just happened. I gave Doug a nickname, and Brittany's like, "Don't do that." It's like we don't get offended.
Yeah.
Make sure Doug's not offended by the nickname you
Right.
gave him. It's
We
a
don't
pet
get
name.
offended.
It was a nice
You just gave
name.
Doug a pet name.
We have a high offensive
He
threshold.
called him Dougie. I think
Yes.
that's very endearing.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Brittany, what's up?
All right, guys. Next up, one of our new segments, new year, new studio, new segments. We have the Danger Report. And today, we're going to be going over the biggest bankruptcies that happened last year. So biggest bankruptcies of 2016. And this is according to the total asset value.
Okay.
Okay, so here's who went down last year. Sun Edison,
Ooh.
Sun Electronics.
Oh, boy.
That was a big player that went down.
These always make me so sad.
I know.
Some of these companies have been around for a long
I know,
time.
Exactly,
I know. And then you see
Gotta learn from it.
where
Yeah.
they didn't evolve properly.
Yeah.
Peabody Energy, this is a mining company.
Okay.
Lynn Energy, oil and gas. Arch Coal, mining. Brightburn Energy, oil and gas. Another energy company with some Roman numerals, oil and gas. Republic Airways, aviation. Halcon Resources, oil and gas. Paragon Offshore, oil and gas. Sandridge Energy, oil and gas. So I think we have a very apparent theme for last year and what happened in the oil and gas industry.
Oil and gas.
That was not the business to be in
Volatile.
2016.
Well, I'm glad none of us
Volatile.
were in it.
Yes, me too.
Okay, next up, next segment, The Fix. We are discussing the 99-cent store, and you two are weighing in on their struggle. They're currently on the verge of bankruptcy. And what do you think that they're doing right, wrong? What can they do to not become one of the horror stories like the 2016 I just read?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Brittany, I wouldn't consider myself necessarily the world's biggest expert on billion-dollar companies.
Okay.
But they are making some fundamental mistakes.
Okay.
Let me give you a little history. This company was bought in 2011 for $1.6 billion.
Jeez.
Okay. And they're doing about $2 billion a year in business. Now, that sounds pretty good, and particularly when you look at how these dollar stores are how they're measured. And how they're measured is in how many dollars per square foot they get out of the store.
Okay.
So the 99-cent store is getting about $300 a square foot in sales. And if you compare that to Dollar General, they're doing about $221 per square foot. And Dollar Tree is doing only $143 per square foot.
Wow.
But the profitability of the 99-cent store with $2 billion a year in business has all but disappeared.
Oh.
So you figure, well, how can that happen? They're making more money per square foot.
Yeah.
And they're a bigger business than some of these others. They're generating $2 billion a year. If you can't make a profit on $2 billion a year,
Right.
what's the problem?
So where's the money going?
Well, there's several things.
Okay.
One, a large percentage of their business, which is unusual for these kinds of stores, is in perishable products in the stores. So they have a lot of waste. Then when you have perishable products, you have to really manage your inventory well, because things spoil and you have to throw them away, and they have a limited shelf life. So they're having problems there. And the other thing is the economy has changed and the competition has changed. So they have a lot more competition now, and they're still dragging along a lot of debt from when they bought the store from the original owners.
From the acquisition.
From the acquisition.
It's an extreme value retailer, so it's a volume play.
Right.
And they're selling overstock goods that other stores couldn't unload. So, those stores typically mistreat those goods in a lot of cases. They need to convert more inventory to cash and reduce their cash borrowing.
Right.
Because they are borrowing a lot. If you look at the customer experience needs improved, they need to reduce their shrink and build a better culture. Because of that type of business doesn't necessarily build the best culture.
Right.
Because it's kind of it's lower end.
Right.
There's a lot of things that have to watch inventory overlap. So like the inventory that comes in and the inventory that's still there, there's a major thing there, the way they move their that kind of a volume.
Absolutely.
Their gross margins are pretty good, 29%, but they're notorious. These places are notorious for cheaply made items.
Right.
That may not meet safety standards. So a lot of times that steers, customers away.
Yeah.
So, and then lastly, they are competing with superstores on price.
Right.
And that's a big thing, because you can get some of the same products at superstores that you get at the 99-cent store.
Well, they have a lot of debt. They've had some management problems. They've changed CFOs and CEOs twice in the last year. That doesn't help you. They're in a changing marketplace with new competition. So they really are in a position where they have to reevaluate their whole paradigm.
Right.
One good thing is that they have more high and middle income shoppers still shop there. So they have that going on.
They're doing $2 billion worth of business.
We're taking a break. You're listening to Making It Coast to Coast.